moving towards them. I know whenever I duel people, they'll recognize the Deathly Swarm coming towards them. Yeah, that's just a general nice quality of life fix, as I call it. Crimson Tide, Deadly Catch, Wicked Spiral. I think those are all underwater skills. Deadly Feast, underwater skill. I won't go over the underwater skills. I don't play the Necromancer really underwater. Okay, now moving on to Death Shroud. One thing in Shadow Plane now regenerate out of that's a quality of life fix. The Death Shroud 5, I don't really have enough life for, so let me just link this in chat. Okay, Death Shroud 5. This is basically, as best as I understand, similar to something as the Morgana Ultimate in League of Legends. It'll shackle people after a certain amount of time, but during the time it's shackling, it will add a condition, the new condition Torment, to enemies every second. I've tested around with Torment, the Death Shroud 5 a little bit, turning shackles, and it appears that you can't actually dodge. I think you can dodge the individual Torment ticks, but you can't dodge the animation of the tether within 600 range. So if you get within 600 range of somebody and you cast this, it will always tether them, I think. And then after a certain amount of time, you can also dodge the Immobilize as well, or you can block the Immobilize. The Immobilize is insanely strong though. You can combo it with Wells. It's amazing. It's a great skill for Death Shroud 5. And I've also changed every. Wow. I'm streaming my Necromancer overviews, Ev. There's no need to wait for me. I'll be right back.
Channel switched. You were sound muted. Microphone muted. Hey, wake up.
Wow.
Hey, wake up.
Oh, I'll be right back 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, it's pretty much similar to the Morgana, the Death Shroud number 5. Now they've buffed individual Death Shroud skills. They've buffed some of the individual Death Shroud skills. They buffed the Life Blast. They've made it 1200 range. And they've made the differences on the skill amazing. Instead of requiring over 50% life force, they've made it so Death Shroud is more of a bruiserish kind of form. So you'll deal more damage whenever you're closer, or you'll have a better effect when you're closer to the enemy. The first skill being Life Blast. This will now deal additional damage or more damage whenever you're within 600 units, which means you'll always be dealing max damage regardless of your Death Shroud pool, whenever you're within 600 units. This is, in my opinion, an awesome change. It means that power builds are a lot more viable. Death Shroud power builds are a lot more viable. Death Shroud focused builds are way more viable. Yeah, it's just a great change all around, especially a Life Blast. And Doom, they've made the they've made the fear from Doom into a 1.5 second base fear whenever you're within 600 units, and it's a 1 second fear like pre-patch if you're out of that range, which is amazing. Really, you can get your terror ticks. Well, you can make your fear into 2 seconds, so you can get 2 terror ticks fairly easily now, especially with this buff within 600 range. And the rest of the changes, these are just Death Shroud. These are Life Force generation from auto attacks, which I've already been over. Shadow Fiend Horn includes blind duration. Yeah, it's a nice quality of life fix. Dark Path, fixed, bug fix. Reaper's Touch now applies vulnerability before the damage. That's more of a bug fix. Grim Spectre, the Lich Form 5 is now unblockable. Yeah, that's a great change. In addition to being able to use it while moving, it's just yeah, they've essentially buffed the Lich Form 5 into something that's usable now. Before, I'd generally only spam one in and use the Jagged Horrors, which were fairly useful in Lich Form. Okay, so that's all the utility changes and skill changes. So I'd say Necromancer's got buffed pretty heavily in terms of utilities. Everything got a nice buff. Maybe a few things did get nerfed, but overall, great changes in my opinion. I shall be right back 1 second. I'm just gonna get a glass of water. Okay guys, I'm back. Because I've done a skill changes, I'll just look up the Twitch chat now and see if there's any questions. Quickly, Axe did get buffed. Axe did get buffed through traits. Yeah, it did get buffed. But I'd say the inherent problems with Axe are more to do with the skills. Where's my Necromancer face like that? The inherent problems with Axe are to do with the skills on Axe and not to do with the traits or anything. It's just it's made to do with the 1 and 2 skills. Yeah, the Mog. It's pretty much effectively the Morgana Ultimate from League of Legends. Okay, so let's move on to the trait changes from the patch, which is where Necromancer got maybe too much of an overbuff, in all honesty. Okay, Blood Magic, Dagger Mastery, 20% cooldown reduction from 15%. Quality of life fix mainly. I'd say it was more quality of life and just yeah, it was needed because general cooldown reduction in traits for most classes is 20%. This one was 15. So they just scale it up with every other thing. It just makes sense. Vampiric, they say they buffed this. I haven't tested it out personally yet, but I've been reading the forums and they haven't really done much with it. It still needs better scaling. They may have just messed with the scaling of it and didn't add it properly. I don't know personally. I mean, Vampiric. If you could heal in Death Shroud, Vampiric with proper coefficients and scaling could be a really powerful trait. But let's move on from that. On to curses. Withering Precision. This trait now applies 5 seconds of weakness on critical hits. I'd say this is overall a nerf, because you can't apply weakness AoE. However, it's understandable because of the weakness buff, which I'll go over after the Necromancer traits. Basically, this is more sustainable uptime on single target weakness, which has been made very powerful, in my personal opinion. I think the change is probably warranted with the change to weakness. Although, saying that pre-patch, the weakness from this trait didn't seem to proc very much. It was very RNG, so making it 100% chance is probably the best idea. I think the ICD probably could have come down to 15 seconds, but overall it's an okay change, I suppose. I've never really liked the curses trait line. There's nothing much useful there. Oh, it's being disconnected. Oh, it's disconnected from Nemesis. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, the traits and curses, I mean, I don't really like them. They don't really... There's nothing in there which makes me I really want to take it, other than Terror. Terror is the only trait which did get changed this patch. And I'm kind of happy it did. It was a nerf, but it was a necessary nerf. And Necromancer is still really powerful this patch, even with the nerf. So they moved it to the Master tier, which, yeah, it was necessary. Otherwise, you could have took, like, you could have, the trait line I would have taken, I was thinking about this, the trait line I would have taken if the current changes had went through, but Terror was tier 1 instead, I could have just went 30, 10, 10, 20. Picked up soul marks, got all my life force generation there, it would have been the best of everything build in my opinion. You got survivability from soul marks, plus just the general life force generation, and you've got everything else. You get the new burning, you get the Terror. It would have been amazingly strong, but in all honesty, I really think they should move Terror up to tier 3, it's just that powerful of a trait. Like, so it's for 30 points you can get burning or Terror. That's me personally though. I know that the tier 3 curses traits warrant being tier 3, especially if you look at other classes traits. I mean, the Scepter duration. Scepter's got 2 skills. It's got the auto attack chain and it's got the grasping dead, which apply conditions. So you don't really gain too much in my honest opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they buffed it something like condition duration is increased by 33% while wielding a scepter, so then you got like the fear the duration increase and everything. That could be really powerful. Maybe a bit too powerful, but that's just an idea. Okay. Focused rituals has been moved to tier 1. This is a great change. This buffs well built a lot. You can use something like a 30-10-0-0-30 with axe main hand in one set and dagger main hand in the other. And it means that you don't have to put 20 unnecessary points to get max damage from wells. Because before the patch you'd have to take like 30-20-0-0-20 or something, or you could take 30-0-10-0-30, but you'd never have those. You'd never get as much damage as you possibly could, just like full out berserker damage with wells. Otherwise you'd have to be on top of your target to do it. So yeah, I really like that change. It makes wells a lot more viable in different builds since you can get them targeted. Overall it's a nerf to conditional builds, but a buff to power builds. Or you could say it's more of a buff to well builds and a nerf to terror builds. But yeah, the terror really should be tier 3 in my opinion. It's that powerful. I'll be right back 1 second. Okay guys, sorry I'm back. 1 second. Okay, so moving on to Death Magic, Death Shiver. Vulnerability applied every 3 seconds, 3 stacks instead of 1. I still personally never use this trait. I don't like this trait. I don't think this trait is very good. It's a buff, but this trait's still useless in my opinion. You can stack 9 vulnerability stacks at most with it. If you get like 50% condi duration, you can get like 15 stacks, but that means you're never really going to be in Death Shroud for that long. The vulnerability stacks just aren't worth it. You could probably get something a lot better there, like Reaper's Protection. Spiteful Vigor, still pretty good. Staff cooldown reduction. There's so much other better stuff that you could take there instead of that. It's not a very good trait, honestly. Death Nova. I'm not entirely sure how much damage it does and how the scaling works. I think it does around 1 to 2k damage on minion explosion. Now minions have an inherent problem that do you want to keep them alive or do you want to kill them? This trait's kind of I don't like this trait. I don't like this trait because it goes against the whole minion thing where this trait it basically gives you That's what I'm looking for. I can't think of the word. It basically means that that's what you get like a consolation for